All right, welcome to the Explainer. So I want you to imagine a secret religion, one that spread like wildfire through the Roman legions, all the way from the chilly frontiers of Britain clear out to the deserts of Syria. Now here's the catch. It's a religion with absolutely no holy books, no written theology, nothing. All we have are these silent ruins of underground temples and this one really powerful recurring image. Today, we're going to try and unravel the mystery of the lost religion of Mithras.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Our entire investigation really starts with this one clue, and it's a big one. This powerful scene right here is known as the tauroctony. And you gotta understand, this wasn't just some nice decoration. No, this was the absolute centerpiece of every single Mithraeic temple. It was the very heart of their faith.
And I mean, they found hundreds of these things, all across the Roman Empire. In these hidden underground temples, the same dramatic moment shows up again and again. So it's pretty clear, right? If we want to get a handle on this forgotten religion, we have to decode this scene. So, what in the world are we looking at?
All right, let's play detective. We're gonna break this thing down piece by piece, almost like a forensic analysis, because every single figure, every tiny detail here, it's a clue.
So first up, the main event, the god Mithras himself. He's always in this really dynamic, action-packed pose. You can see he's wearing what's called a Phrygian cap, that distinctive hat, and some Anatolian-style clothes. But here's something really interesting. Notice his face. He's not even looking at the bull he's slaying. His head is turned away. And a lot of the time, he seems to be looking toward the sun god, Sol. Okay, now look closer at the animals crowding around. These guys are not here by accident. You've got a dog and a snake, and they're both reaching for the wound, almost like they're trying to drink the bull's blood. It's clear every single creature here has a very specific, symbolic role to play. And the scene gets even more complex, and frankly a little intense. You have a scorpion attacking the bull's genitals. I mean, that's a pretty clear symbol of destruction, right? Attacking the very source of life. And then, almost always, you'll spot a raven watching the whole thing from above. Maybe it's some kind of messenger for the gods?
But then you see this detail, and it just brilliantly sums up a huge theme here. Life coming from death. Check out the bull's tail. From the very tip, you often see ears of wheat sprouting out. So this whole sacrifice, it isn't just about violence. It's an act of creation. It's about bringing life and food from this slain animal.
And finally, flanking the whole scene, you've got these two figures. They look like twins, and they're even dressed like Mithras. The one on the left, that's Kautis, and his torch is pointing up. The one on the right is Kautapates, and his is pointing down. The best guess from scholars? They probably represent some big cosmic duality. You know, rising and setting sun, the equinoxes, maybe even life and death itself.
So, okay, we've picked apart the scene, but what about the guy in the middle? Who was this bull-slaying god, Mithras? Where did he even come from?
Well, from what we can piece together from the art they left behind, his birth story is pretty out there. Mithras wasn't born in the usual way. Nope. The myth is he just burst out of a solid rock, already a fully formed adult, holding a dagger and a torch. Born ready for action, literally. Now, where he really came from, that's a huge debate. The name Mithras is definitely connected to an old Persian god, Mithra. But, and this is a really big but, that whole bull-slaying scene, the absolute core of the Roman religion, there's no evidence of anything like it in the Persian tradition. So are they the same god? Or was the Roman Mithras a totally new creation that just borrowed a famous old name? Honestly, the jury's still out on that one. Okay, so let's shift gears from the gods to his followers. How was this secret society actually put together? Who were these people meeting in secret underground temples? Well, for starters, it was an all-male club, a really tight-knit brotherhood. They called themselves the Syndexio, which means something like those united by the handshake. And they did all their worshiping in these special underground temples called mithraea. They were even designed to look and feel like the cave where Mithras supposedly killed that bull. And to move up in the ranks, you had to go through a series of 7 initiations. Think of it like leveling up. Each of the 7 grades was tied to a planet and a specific god. And with each new level, you got a new rank and more status. You'd start out as a Corax or Raven and work your way all the way up to Potter, the father. And each of these ranks had its own special symbols. We actually know about these from cool mosaics they found on the temple floors. So for that first rank, the Raven, your patron god was Mercury, and your symbols were, well, a raven, a cup, and Mercury's famous winged staff, the caduceus. As you climbed that ladder, the symbols got way more powerful. Take the fourth rank, the lion. Now you're being protected by Jupiter himself, the king of the gods. And your symbols? A fire shovel, a ritual rattle called a sistrum, and, yeah, Jupiter's very own thunderbolt. Pretty cool. So this mystery religion got super popular. I mean, Roman soldiers especially loved it, and they took it with them to every corner of the empire. But all that success meant it was on a collision course with another new religion that was also gaining a lot of steam.
So you see Mithraism pop up in the 1st century, and for the next couple hundred years it just grows and grows. It hits its absolute peak in the 3rd century. But then, the 4th century happens. Christianity becomes the official state religion of Rome, and suddenly being a Mithrist is a very dangerous thing. They faced persecution, and by the end of that century the religion was pretty much wiped out.
So that brings us to the biggest question of all. With all those followers all across the empire, why is this religion still such a mystery? Why are we stuck piecing it together from old carvings? Here's the heart of the problem. The followers of Mithras left nothing. No texts, not one single holy book, no scrolls explaining their myths, no pamphlets on their theology. Nothing has ever been found. It was a religion built on secrets, and its members took their oath of secrecy very, very seriously. All that's left for us to study are these incredible atmospheric ruins of their underground temples, like this one you're seeing in Ostia, right near Rome. We can see their altars, we can read some inscriptions, and we have those hundreds of bull-slaying scenes. We've got the silent stones, but we just don't have the words that brought them to life. So you have to remember, everything we think we know about this religion is really just a modern reconstruction. It's like a giant puzzle we've assembled from a few artistic clues. But we know a ton of the most important pieces are just gone. And it just leaves you wondering, right? What were the prayers they whispered in these caves? What stories did they tell each other by torchlight? What secrets did the very last followers of Mithras take with them to their graves?